Hello friends, this is Kevin, aka K-Man1, coming at you with another episode of Sly 3 Honor Among Thieves, right where we left off the last time. In the last episode, we recovered the team van and broke into General Tso's personal computer, and in this episode, we are going to be doing nothing other than what every good hippie should do. Get a job.
This is it, General Tso's palace. If we're gonna get at the Panda King's daughter, we'll need an inside track on the wedding.
I'm ready with my costume. With some luck, he'll hire me on as the wedding coordinator.
Great. If you get a chance, try to score the rest of us some jobs as well. You can't have enough operatives on the inside.
Alright, so Bentley is going to be putting on his disguise and trying to work his way into the ranks of General Tso's wedding organization. Very, very cool. But we are going to go ahead and be quiet for a moment because there is something very interesting for us.
But please, my father will be so worried. Just let me tell him I'm all right. I beg of you, sir, let me out of this prison. Is this the way you woo your wife? You have shown me nothing but cruelty. I'm so unhappy.
Well, that's unfortunate. Let's just go ahead and talk to this guy.
Greetings, Honorable General Tso. I have heard of your impending marriage and have respectfully come before you to offer my services as wedding coordinator.
How insulting! I need no help.
My apologies. I mean no disrespect.
Given my genius, I am of course completely capable of organizing the event. However, I might be interested in employing a photographer. A day of such momentous import should be captured for future generations to marvel at.
I have one of the world's best photographers on retainer.
Really? Well, if he truly is world-class, then he might get the honor of chronicling the event. However, I'll need to see some samples before I give him the job.
Of course. I'll have him come by right away.
You'd better not be wasting my time, wedding planner. I get very, very uncharitable when people waste my time.
I didn't mean to sound insensitive when I said that was bad just a second ago, but I realized that it did come off a little bit that way. It is actually very unfortunate because he's basically kidnapping her and forcing her to marry him. So, yeah,
Okay,
screw that guy.
General Tso wants some samples of your work. I've placed waypoints in areas with good photographic potential. Approach the guards while in costume, and they'll probably pose for you. Good luck, pal.
Alright, it is time for disguises, and I have a lot of power-ups actually, so I'm going to go ahead and equip some of those. But, let's go ahead and check out what our new disguise is. Yes, we are a photographer, and we have a nice little mustache there. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. And like all other disguises, we unfortunately do not have the ability to jump more than once or attack guards, but we get to input passwords. Yay, passwords. And that is the worst password ever.
Night,
You could guess that accidentally.
Listen up, meatheads.
Whatever,
General Tso
I don't
wants
get
some
it.
Pictures of his staff. So
Anyways.
big smiles all around, or else.
This is basically the closest thing we're going to have to a proper recon mission.
Great shot, but
In
you'll need a few more before
this
talking with General Tso.
chapter, it's like they're officially called episodes, as like the official title for each segment is an episode, but since I call individual videos episodes, it's confusing because, yeah. Anyways, technically it's my fault for having bad nomenclature, but I blame the game because that's what a good Let's Player does. Complains about the game being bad instead of just enjoying it for what it is.
My mistake. All right, you stupid guys.
Anyways,
Put on some smiles and get
enough
nice
meta humor.
photos.
It is time
General Tso
to
wants
go
some
ahead
happy
and
photos. Get it?
take the photos. And for this one, we've got to wait until they are in
That's
a good
picture,
position.
Sly. One more should be enough to impress the general.
And if you were to take a picture while they were standing apart, then it would just be like, no, it needs to be happy together. Or whatever. And as if it weren't already gimmicky enough in this game, it is time for yet another gimmick to be found in the photo mission. But anyways, gonna kill that guy, pickpocket him because we can, because it's enjoyable, and because murder is fun for the whole family. Don't actually murder people. That's very, very rude and unpleasant.
Sending the password, Sly.
So we are going to go ahead and put in this password.
Sun, moon, sun, sun.
And
Oh, didn't recognize you.
Okay,
now,
you two, look happy. The general would like a nice couple shot.
what we are going to have is when we try to take the photo, the monkey's going to jump in the way. And so what we need to do is wait until he comes over here and murder him. Seems a little harsh if you ask me, but hey, he had it coming. Being a monkey and what have you. I love the little pose that pig is making, like pork foo and what have you.
Sly, that's some
Or,
lovely photography.
I don't know.
Show those shots to the general. I'm sure he'll be impressed.
Oh, I know what it is. It would be pork chop. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at life. My puns are not what they used to be, let me tell you. Something worth noting
Hey, Sly,
is
get a few
I
pictures
might
of the
fail.
general while you're in there.
I'm
It's always
actually
a
no.
good
It's
idea
not.
to
It's not now that
study
you
your
can do what
enemy.
It's not now that you can do what I'm thinking of. It is going to be in a little while that we will be able to do that. But for right now, we need to go ahead and walk up and snap some photos
Make sure
of
you get my
the
good
general.
It must be quite amusing.
Go
to
ahead
observe the
and
effects of
just
power.
snap the
Why
few
is it
photos
I'm
that he's going
always
to
the
take.
center of attention?
He's going to change his poses and what have you.
Shot.
But
Here,
ultimately,
check out this pose.
we just need to take these
Impressive,
couple
I
of
know.
photos
That'll
and
do
then
it, Sly.
go and
I
talk to
talk
him.
the general now while you...
Greetings, General Sao. As you have no doubt guessed, I'm the world-class photographer, hoping to play a humble role in your upcoming magnificent wedding.
Let me see a sample of your work. I have a keen eye, a great sense of artistic value. I can tell at a glance if you're world class.
But of course, Your Excellency.
You have a strong sense of compositional regularity and force perspectivism. These are adequate. You may have the honor of photographing my wedding.
1,000 thank yous, my lord. I'm sure it will be a wedding none of us will ever forget.
Gotta love when non-artists try to use fancy artistic terms, which is I am 100% convinced what just happened there. But hey, that's just me.
The operation is running smoothly. With access to General Sal's database and Sly successfully hired on as the wedding photographer, we're ready to make an attempt for Jing King. Given the complexity of Sal's downloaded data, I've programmed my ThiefNet computer to automatically analyze the... What the... General Sal! He's got my computer! Our whole plan is on that computer! How'd he find us? We're doomed!
Bentley, calm down. I need you sharp. Listen up, team. This Sao character is more clever than any of us thought. As of this moment, we have one goal. Steal back the ThiefNet computer. The time for subtlety is over. Bentley, break into the palace and ransack his personal computer. He might have linked it to ours. If so, that's where we'll start. The rest of the team will stand ready. No telling where this might take us.
Yeah, that happened. And for the first time in my Let's Plays history, I'm actually not ending an episode on a slideshow, because I knew this was going to happen. And anyways, I'm just going to, instead of wasting your time on travel, I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the palace front gate. Alright, and you might be arguing that I'm only saving a couple seconds by doing that, but this is going to be a really long episode, no matter how much I cut out. So, yeah, I'm gonna at least try to keep things a little bit short.
Somewhere. No need to be sneaky. Let's just get the
And
job
so,
done.
what I was thinking of is that you can actually destroy these vases if you want to. You might actually be able to switch out of your costume and do it in that last mission, but I think that might go ahead and just like make you fail. Anyways, the computer we are looking for is going to be right. I thought it was right over there. It is, I think. Where is it? I remember it being like right there, but apparently, oh, It's like right in the corner right there. See, I always trick myself into forgetting where it is. But anyways, it's going to be a little bit of a hacking
Sly,
segment.
I found his personal computer.
So
This
let's
should
go
be
ahead
easy.
and do this.
Standard OS
And
security,
so-
no problem.
Like any great, well, not any great hacking segment, like most hacking segments, there are going to be these little security nodes, and we are just going to be working our way through. If you touch anything red, then you will take damage and die, because as we all know, red is the color of
He's
pain.
got a defense avatar. This
And
could
so,
get ugly.
fun thing, you can actually completely ignore that if you want to, which I am absolutely going to be doing, because I am all about saving time. So, you can go ahead and not, oh wait, no, I was wrong. You actually do have to take this guy out in order to get over to the next segment. So, that is something you have to keep in mind. Ultimately, it's the same strategy as anything else, just shoot him. And, hello, what? Okay. He does have a gravitational pull to it, so you can kind of get locked in something awkward like what just happened there, but his hitbox will get smaller for each layer of the thing you take off, and ultimately it's not going to be that terribly difficult.
Something. His diary mentions a secret passage through the prayer bell, then a walk across the heavens. You getting this, Sly?
I'm en route to the bell right now.
Better bring along the guru. This sounds like his department.
Alright. So upcoming is actually one of my favorite things in this entire game. Like, one of my favorite missions to play. And you'll see what I mean once we get to it. But we're in for a treat right now, let me tell you.
It says here to stand under the bell. I'll need to set off the transfer sequence from here.
Got any ideas about that walk across the heavens thing? That's amazing. Of course. If you need to ride on my back to keep the levitation going, be my guest. I'm not a big fan of falling to my death.
Well, now we are going to be basically jumping across the path that Guru is going to levitate for us. So, this isn't the portion of the mission I was talking about, but this is actually something very, very amusing, to say the least, because he'll just be hoisting guards and you gotta spire jump on their heads and crazy stuff like that. Very, very nice. Really just an extra great touch to an already enjoyable mission. It can go a little bit slowly though, which is something to keep in mind, but ultimately, we're not crossing a terribly vast distance, and it's not going to be a huge concern in the time department, hopefully. That's always the goal, at the very least. And here's my thing. Our goal is right up over there, so... And I jumped a little bit too early. But yeah, our goal is right over there, so there is a much more efficient way of possibly getting up there, and I'm surprised they didn't, like, see it and try to go there ahead of time, but I don't know. It's just a game design thing more than anything else, so you gotta cut them a little bit of slack. So, Guru is going to be leaving us at this particular juncture,
No problem.
and so
Take a
Sly
rest
is
for a
going to
minute.
be moving
I'll push on
on
ahead and look for
to...
Sal.
Make some weird
Phlegm.
readings up ahead. Want to use your optimizer goggles?
But we're not using 3D. I've been over this. I don't know why they keep asking you, because it kind of like fits into the flow of dialogue. The whole like, hey, do you want to use your 3D goggles thing? But it's just like I don't want to use them. Just remove that as an option. Make it an option to remove 3D completely. Whatever. Anyways, I will go ahead and leave it to these two to settle things right now.
Ah, the famous Sly Cooper. It seems you and your little gang were able to follow the trail I left for you. Of course, you'll be helpless without them, as you'll soon discover.
I'm not ashamed to rely on my friends.
Who needs friends when you can have servants? Who needs affection when you can have obedience? Why try to convince you when I can simply destroy you? This sacred forest has been the stage for hundreds of battles, as my ancestors crushed anyone who got in their way. And you will be no different.
Bentley, are you hearing this? What's he talking about?
I've heard of these types of battlegrounds before. The energy from all the fighting that has gone on before strengthens the combatants, allowing them to soar for long distances. You should be able to fly all the way across the arena with one jump. Plus, you can probably change directions in the air with your double jump.
Enough chit-chat, Cooper. Face me now, and prepare for the end of your legacy.
Alright, so this is probably the most enjoyable boss fight in the entire game. Because basically, all you need to do is... And I messed it up. Naturally, I mess up the easiest part of the mission on my first try. But what you're going to want to do is jump through the air and intercept him after he shoots some fireballs at you, such that you might be able to defeat him. Pretty simple and straightforward, and it takes usually 6 hits from the look of the thing, just eyeballing it, in order to take him down. And every now and again, he will do annoying stuff where, like... I can't... Okay. Sometimes he'll shoot fireballs more than once, and generally be obnoxious thereby. But ultimately, it is not very hard to keep jumping around and intercepting him. And there are no possible health pickups, which is a little bit unfortunate because I even started off this mission with less than full HP. Well, I started off this segment of the mission with less than full HP. But ultimately, it's not a huge problem because as long as you're not being like a complete idiot like I was earlier, then you're really not going to have much of an issue with this. And can you stop shooting your fireballs and just do that thing? And this phase is done.
Come back and take it like a man.
Alright, and so it's now time for phase 2 of this boss fight.
Well done, esteemed wedding photographer. I'm impressed you lasted this long.
Stop this, Sal. Release Gene King and this fight can end.
No! Gene King is mine! Once our bloodlines cross, it shall be glorious! The Panda King in his day was magnificent. With the Tao name, a new generation of kings will be unstoppable.
But she doesn't want to marry you.
She's a woman. She doesn't know up from down. Once I convinced her father to take up meditation, she was ripe for the picking.
I've faced a lot of bad men in my time, but you, sir, are the worst.
Oh, it gets worse, Cooper. Up until now, I've gone easy on you. But now you'll sample the ancient black arts of the family Tao.
Alright, so, phase 2 of the boss fight is basically, it's the exact same, honestly. But he is going to cast spells, at interval. And once he does, I'll go over how to counter each of his attacks as he uses them. But for the most part, you're pretty much just going to want to wail on him like normal. And your health carries over, but it'll restart you at this segment once you have died in this segment. So, very, very cool. I don't know why they didn't just restore your health, because that would have been so much easier. But whatever. It's not a huge concern either way. And I would like go out of my way to explore this battlefield, but anyways, his attacks. That one is he will summon like a bunch of hands from the ground, and you've just got to climb up one of those bamboo shoots and it will miss. Very, very simple and straightforward, but ultimately it is a fairly interesting attack. And sometimes when you have climbed up, and wow, that knocked me really far away. Sometimes when you've climbed up, he will shoot one of these dragons at you, and then it will spiral around one of the bamboo shoots that you're on, and he is using his attacks in a completely different order than I've ever seen him use them, so I don't know what that's all about. But hopefully, I didn't need to smoke bomb there. That was weird. But yes, he's been using his attacks in weird patterns that I've never seen him use them before. And there are no health packs in this boss fight, so you are basically completely on your own as far as keeping yourself healthy is concerned. But it's only going to be one more hit, and he will go down. And drop coins in the process, which is kind of weird.
You have won this battle, but the war rages on. Take your foolish computer. It won't help you. Jin King is mine.
Jin King is a person, not property. And sorry, pal, but we're ending this right now.
Beware. Beware the power of Tao.
Thankfully, we've managed to retrieve the ThiefNet computer. However, all the plans stored inside are now compromised. The wedding is still on. Jin King remains Sao's prisoner. Yes, we are going to free her, but that's not enough. No, for this heist, we really need to put the screws to this guy. He's earned it. So, we're cleaning out his treasury as well. A feat impossible without Murray's van. Unfortunately, all that time in the ice has ruined its polycellular battery. I'll need Sly's help to acquire a new one, which won't be easy, as the General's gone all out with security. He's even resorted to black magic dragons and hopping vampires patrolling the streets. We'll need to even the odds before the wedding. Sly, you and the Panda King will work to gather some fireworks and blow up the vampire's crypt. No crypt, no more vampires.
You're just a frustrated firework artist turned homicidal pyromaniac.
Am I? Am I? Let us find out.